This is the Halting Winter Podcast. I'm your host, Seth Winterhalter. Halting Winter is here to help small business owners escape the stress and the overwhelm of trying to grow their small business by giving them the tools and the support they need to not only grow, but to 5x their annual revenue. That's right. We want to see small business owners reach $5 million in annual revenue. And why not? Just because you're a small business, that doesn't mean you can't make big revenue. It doesn't mean you can't make a big impact. And so we want to help you do that. We are taking, in the month of April, time for a 12-part series on the 12 steps every small business needs to take in order to launch, to grow, or to scale. So if you're a small business owner and you feel stuck, you're stuck on the tarmac, you're stuck, it doesn't seem like you can get off the runway to the next level of growth, or perhaps you are considering starting a small business, you're trying to figure out the right steps to launch that business successfully, well, this is the podcast series for you. Today, we're taking the third step. You can go back if you missed step 1 and 2, talking about our products and making sure that they're profitable, making sure that we have a signature product that really defines the business that we have for our customer. Today, we're going to look at marketing, and we're going to look specifically at this third step. What do we need to do to reset our business to get clarity for growth ahead? And that is this. You need to ask yourself, who are you selling to? Who are you selling to? Are you trying to sell to everybody? Because let me tell you, in a world like today, where people, especially Americans, are marketed to death, you will be lost in the shuffle. You cannot sell to everyone. You need to sell to a particular person, and the more you can narrow down and niche down to clarify exactly who you're targeting to, the clearer your marketing will be, the more compelling it will be, and the actual more customers you will serve. So that's what we're going to dive into today. Do you have a single customer avatar, right? Let me just ask you a question. How well do you know your target audience? Not how well do you know your general audience, not how well do you know every single customer that you've ever served. But if I asked you, who is your target audience, right? And this isn't even how you might know your target audience. If you've been in business a while, you may say, well, what is, if we put all of our customers, we took all of their data and sucked it down into some powerful Excel chart that could tell us exactly who our customer is, who would that be? Have you ever done that, right? Have you ever asked questions like, when you think about your target audience, how old are they? What do they listen to on their way to work in the morning? They listen to talk radio, sports radio. They listen to a podcast. They listen to music. What kind of music? What social media platforms are they on? And why? What are they doing? Are they just scrolling? Are they lurking? Are they commenting? Are they posting? Well, what kind of people are these? Who are they following on social media? What influencers do they look up to? Why? What kind of things are those influencers saying or promoting that's capturing their attention, that's calling them to want to be like them? Where does your target audience shop for clothes, for groceries? What do they do for fun? What are they stressed about in their life? Where do they work? How much money do they make? What do they spend their money on? What does their work week look like? What do their weekends look like? All kinds. I could go on and on and on about questions that are helping you think about your target audience. And why is it important? Why is it important to think like that? It's important to ask these questions because the more you know them, the more you are going to be able to speak to them, to have a captivating message that would actually draw them in to pay attention to you. If you do not do this exercise, you're going to default to marketing to whatever you like. You're going to use your colors and your images and your music and your brand. You're going to do you. And the problem is, you're not your target audience, right? You're the business owner. You've already solved this problem, hopefully. And so you need to know your customers. You need to figure out, right? And especially today, are your customers local? Are you a brick and mortar shop who's only serving people face to face in your community? Or especially if your customers live in the digital world, now all your customers, because even if you're serving locally, they live in the digital world as well. And this is why you have to be familiar with digital even today, because again, think about during the pandemic, people didn't leave their house. So you had to go through digital means to get their attention. They weren't taking walks by your office, and so you have to, even if you're a local person, you have to understand digital. But this is why it's so important. Digital marketing, like everyone and their dog is doing digital marketing. So it's easy to get lost in the shuffle. If you're trying to reach everyone, you will reach no one. You have to target down. And this is where, again, people start to get, they fear. Let's just be honest. You will have fear because you will say to yourself, if I target down, if I niche down and really go hard after one audience, I'm going to turn people off. Trust me, you're not. That's a fallacy. You're not going to turn anyone off. What you're going to do is actually get the attention of the people you most. Now, again, you're not just niching down and finding a target audience because you like that person. You're doing it because you think that's the person who most needs your product. You're niching down to the target audience who would say yes the most to what you're offering. And so that's why this is important, because it's actually going to help you find the right customers for your products and services. So let's go back. Let's think about our products. Let's think about our prices along with our customer avatar, right? Can your demographic afford it? That's a great question. You may be like, man, we want to target this person, but if you're providing tax services to small businesses, if you feel real comfortable handling, I'm going to target small businesses that make $500,000 or less in annual revenue. Okay, well, what percentage then? What are you charging? You might charge, $2,500 to $5,000 for your services. That's 1% to 2% of someone making $250,000 a year, again, on their gross. But if you're like, I'm going to charge like $250,000. Wow. Okay, now that's a much bigger percent of their gross revenue. Like, can they afford that? Or are you pushing yourself out of your target demographic? You're like, I want to serve small businesses, but my price point is so expensive that only businesses making, $1 million plus in annual revenue could afford me. Okay, well, do you understand that that's not working? So you have to think about these kind of questions so that you make sure that you can actually serve your target audience. Here's another question. Is what your product or service is the problem that it's solving? Is that a burning problem for your target audience? If it's not a problem, if you're offering tax services to a company that's making, $20 million in gross revenue, they might have their own team for that. They probably have their own HR. They have their own, people handling some of that. And so you may be out of your league. You may be offering services that they've already have someone on board. So you gotta think about, like, is this really a problem? And it may be a problem. Have you figured out how to speak in your customer's language? Again, this is why working on the customer avatar, you figure out how would they describe their problem, because you are the business owner, which means you're the expert, and you cannot speak to your customers like an expert because it goes over their head. You need to speak to them as though you're their friend who's right next to them with that problem. You need to speak to them in their language, speak to them in how that problem makes them feel. You got to get into the weeds of your customer. And you haven't been there in a while. If you're the expert, if you're the person offering the services to help alleviate these problems, it's going to be easier for you to talk like a doctor. And how many times have you gone to the doctor and he or she is trying to explain to you what your problem is, and you're just like, can you speak to me like a second grader? I do not understand your terms right now. I have no idea what you're talking about. And then they just write you a script and, just take this, you'll be fine. I want you to be able to articulate to me, this is where you're marketing. You've got to figure out who your customer is and how to speak in their language, how to articulate their problem in their words so that they can see that and respond to that and go, yes, that is me. That's the problem I have. I need the help with that. So you want to drill down. You want to discover your ideal target audience. Don't just create it and hope that that's the person. No, really do the mining, do the data, do the research to figure out, is this target audience that I think needs my product? Do they actually need it? This will help you know where to fish. You got to fish in the right. This is where if you go, man, this is my audience. This is my target audience. Where are they at? Like, just because you're on Instagram doesn't mean the businesses that you want to be are on you want to help are on Instagram, right? So, or the people that you want to help. So if your audience is on Facebook predominantly, but you are overfishing in Instagram, maybe that's why you don't have enough fish. If your audience is on LinkedIn, but you're fishing on TikTok, right? You can't complain that you're not getting very many bites. And so you got to be mindful of who your target audience is and where they hang out, what words, what things would capture their attention, would be important for them. So if my audience shops at Cabela's and listens to country music, I'm not using pastel colors in my advertising. That's not going to speak to them. I am probably using some camo, right? I'm using some camo. I'm probably growing a beard and getting all Duck Dynasty on that. I got to be mindful about the words, the images I use to grab attention. I'm going to be able to articulate a specific problem to then pitch my product as the clear solution. The more I know them, the more clarity I can have. And again, can I just point out something right now? If you're hearing this and you're like, man, this feels like icky. This feels like gimmicky. I don't want to be doing this. Can I just help you? This is what marketing and sales is. Marketing and sales is getting into the mind of people to be able to capture their attention, to compel them to take action. That's not evil. That's not wrong. That is a help. You're trying, and here's why. Now, if you are trying to just fleece people, if you don't really have a product, you just are a clever marketer and a clever salesperson, and then you don't really care what you give to them. You're just about taking their money and then they're screwing people over, then yeah, you should fall off a sharp cliff. That's not healthy, right? I'm not interested in helping anyone like that. What I am interested in helping small businesses who usually have a hard time marketing, who are so passionate about helping their customers, but they do not know marketing and sales very well. And in fact, just like I said, you can feel kind of icky or grimy actually doing really good marketing. And let me help you. Let me help you get over that. And this is how. Remember, marketing is just a tool. Being a good salesperson is just a tool to help the people that you want to help. You need to take marketing seriously because you have a message, and you have more than a message. You actually have a product and service that's going to help people, that's going to solve their problems. So you need to care about marketing. You need to care about your sales process in order to actually get people into your doors, to actually get people to say yes to purchase your products and services so that they can get the help they need. So don't feel icky and grimy about really pressing into what marketing and messaging is. In fact, press into it so that you can deliver the solution your people need, because there's plenty of people who are the icky and the grimy, just doing good marketing and not delivering solutions to people's problems. So use it as a tool. See it as a tool. Marketing is a tool to get the attention of your customer in order to give them the help they need and the help they deserve. So if you're passionate about your products, if you believe in your products and your services, this is going to help them solve their problems, feel good about grabbing their attention, feel good about captivating and compelling them to take action. You would yell to get the attention of a child walking into danger, wouldn't you? You would yell. You would get their attention. Right? I just had this moment the other day with my 2.5-year-old. He's deaf when it comes to listening to his dad get his attention if danger is there. And so I want to get his attention. Marketing is the same thing. Grab the attention of your customer to solve their problems. Now, if you need help with this is why we're launching Small Business Flight School in May 2023. We have through Business Made Simple and with our flight school program, we have a number of modules to help you understand marketing. We have coaches, specifically with HaltingWinter, our specific version of flight school, which is different than anyone else's in the country. Our team has put together an incredible flight school with so many benefits, so many extra elements that are going to help you really apply. See, here's the thing. Business Made Simple has, right, you can do flight school with actually Business Made Simple. In fact, we're all doing it together, but HaltingWinter has added on some things because we want you to apply these things, and we want you to apply it in a setting with other people, with other small business owners and with coaches that can actually help you work through. Like, it's not just information for you to go, okay, that gives me something really good to think about. I'll think about it sometime. No, we're going to give you the accountability to actually put those things into action so you see growth. A lot of the reasons why small business owners don't grow, it's not because they don't have information, it's because they don't take action on that information. And that's what Flight School is. Flight School is not just you sitting in a classroom getting the information. Flight School with Halting Winter is helping you actually get up in the air and practice. It's helping you put it into practice, putting it into application so you will actually see growth. That's what we're here for, to help you grow. And so if you're interested, you can go to smallbizflightschool.com, smallbiz, B-I-Z, smallbizflightschool.com. Apply right away because we have only a limited number of spots in the top tier program, right? We have 3 programs for you to choose from. You can do it yourself, you can do it together, or you can do it customized. And we only have a certain number of spots in some of those options. And so we want to make sure that you get not only first choice, you get all the benefits of the launch program, but you get the special pricing as well that's only available during April. So go to Small Biz Flight School and let's help you dial in your marketing. Let's help you think about that customer avatar to really think, who am I trying to grab the attention of, and how do we then craft marketing to be able to help get us there. That's what we'll go over on the next episode when we look at step 4. How do we now create a marketing plan that captivates and captures the attention of our audience? This is Seth Winterhalter. You've been listening to the Halting Winter Podcast. Until next time.